back again on FireOne. Well, then you can also advertise with us. We have a nice building in Accra. The owner told me it's about 390,000 Ghana cedis. Maybe next week we show the videos and pictures so that you can check whether you will buy it or recommend someone to buy. Today we are going to have two important people in our midst here. Dr. Hassan Ayariga, who is the founder and leader of All People's Congress APC party, and then Mr. Kofi Apalu, who is also the founder and leader of LPG, Liberal under President Akufo-Addo. Since 2017 that he became the president of, a lot of people have been killed by the military and the police. But this man has never written his long grammar and all those things to the world or even to Ghanaians to show that he cares. But George Floyd in America, if he, went to a shop with a fake $20 bill and a policeman killed him unjustly, I condemn that. Nobody is happy about the way the guy was killed. But President Akufo-Addo, let me ask you, the small-scale miners that have been killed under your watch, what have you done about it? Do we have anything in our constitution or the mining laws and regulations stating that when you arrest illegal miner or when you see illegal mining guy on the field, you shoot and kill the person? Is there anything like that in our constitution or in our mining laws? But I'll show you videos today concerning small-scale miners who have been shot and killed. And President Akufo-Addo said nothing. None of his government officials said that. Even the first deputy speaker of parliament, he came out to say we should kill the illegal miners. We should kill them. Nobody condemn it. Is it different from George Floyd's murder? Before then, let me put some music there and we see if can play some patriotic music as I'm preparing to bring Dr. Hassan Ayariga. about what happens outside. You have written it cannot be right. Akufo-Addo condemns George Floyd's death. President Akufo-Addo, were you in Ghana when the military men were shooting the galamseyers? Were you in Ghana when the military men were maltreating the small-scale miners? What did you say? How many galamseyers were killed during the ban? And what did you say? I think our guest, one of our guests, is ready, and we will bring him on, and we will do the fireworks after, we finish with the guests. We have Dr. Hassan Ayariga, and I've heard that he's ready to let us know why we don't need a new register in Ghana, a new voters register. So let's reserve the fireworks after we finish with the main program. Then I will talk about President Akufo-Addo's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy at the highest level. Condemning George Floyd's death. Have you condemned the killings of the small-scale miners in Ghana? The killings of those 7 guys that the military or the police killed them in Kumasi. Did you condemn it? Today we have a very important person. You can see him on the screen. Dr. Hassan Ayariga. Dr. Hassan Ayariga is the founder and leader of All People's Congress. He has been a presidential candidate since 2012. He first contested on the ticket of PNC, People's National Congress. And then later, he decided to form his own party. If you talk about politics in Ghana, you can't say anything without mentioning the name Dr. Hassan Ayariga. He is a businessman and an entrepreneur. Anybody who eats pizza in Ghana, pizza, he is the first person who sent pizza company to Ghana. The first person to send pizza to Ghana is Dr. Hassan Ayariga. He is one of the few millionaires or billionaires in Ghana, but people don't know. He made his first $1 million when he was about 21 years old. He began life in Germany. He became successful and decided to go to Ghana and establish businesses. He is one of the few Ghanaians who own their helicopter. He has his own helicopter, just that he doesn't use it. He has rented it out to one of the mining companies for their bullion lifts. People don't know all this. To let us know why we don't need a new register, and also talk about the bauxite, whether he agrees that President Akufo-Addo and his government should take it.
To the people, fellow Ghanaians, election is here again. The party you can trust, APC is here again. If you're looking for that man with all the qualities, Dr. Hassan Ayariga is the best man. Intimoto mano, Hassan Ayariga, power to the people. Moto mano, Hassan Ayariga, power to the people. Moto mano, for development, quality education, good roads and railways, jobs and employment. Building of more schools and hospitals, agricultural development, won't pay way now, won't pay then. In Punto, in Kosopa, ne asit na pa, Ghana fwe. Momentum my episio, Timoto mano, Hassan Ayariga, power to the people. Motomano, Hassan Ayariga, power to the people. Motomano, vote for Hassan Ayariga, vote for APC. Vote for Hassan Ayariga, vote for APC. With that corner Hassan Ayariga, then I peace. Meet the corner Hasayarga, then I peace. Fellow Ghanaians election this year again. The party you can trust APC is here again. If you're looking for that man with all the qualities, Dr. Hassan Yariga is the best man. Intimoto mano, Hassan Yariga, power to the people. Motomano, Hassan.
Dr. Hassan Ayariga, that is the man. That is the man. FireOne. I think he's happy after hearing his song. Doc, welcome to FireOne.
Thank you, Mr. Tolo. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I hope you are managing the coronavirus in Ghana.
Yes, we are all managing ourselves very well. If you want to listen to only the protocols from government alone, I'm sure you will get infected with the coronavirus. So you need to put your own management team and management rules and regulations in order to manage yourself well.
Anyway, because I know little about you, and during my introduction, I said little things.
Mr. Solo, your volume is a bit low. If you can increase your
Oh,
your volume there so I can hear you very well.
so is it okay now?
Speak to the mic so I can hear you very well.
So are you okay now?
Yes, thank you.
So if you say someone is called Dr. Hassan Ayariga in Ghana, the famous APC founder and leader, who is he? Can you say a little thing about you before we continue?
Yes, Dr. Hassan hailed from Boku in the East region of Ghana. Born to Mr. and Mrs. Frank Abdullah Ayariga, also from Boku. We belong to the tradition of Nkwame Nkrumah Mori Igala, if you know the PNP heritage, and then to the PNC. That's our tradition in terms of politics. But as a young man growing, I learned a lot from my dad because of the good work he did as a member of parliament in the Moro Igala Hilal Imam's regime. Dr. Hilal Imam, as president, my father was one of the ministers. So we grew in a political tradition. Growing up in that kind of tradition, one learns how to manage people, how to believe in the society and how to transform society. We learn the teachings of living together, being peaceful with one another, transforming our communities. So as a young man growing up at age 16, I went to Barrow College. I started my school from Cambridge Preparatory here in Accra. Then went back to Boku to preparatory school there, and then to Ghana Secondary School, and then later on to Barrow College in Zaria, Nigeria. Then finally, we came back when Limam was over. You remember that Limam's regime was overthrown by J.J. Wallace. So we went on exile to live in Nigeria for about 5 years. So after the exile, we came back. After the whole hula baloo, we came back from exile. And then we started life again as politicians. And our father passed on when we were 16 years old. But we grew up still believing that tradition of politics and combining business with politics. Like a young man, age 47 now, is a businessman, philanthropist, and a politician. I have several businesses in Ghana and abroad. And I've formed APC at the age of 40 years. I left PNC to form APC. Today, I hold the APC and the founder and leader of APC. In short, Ayariga is someone who believes in the governance of all inclusiveness. Ayariga is somebody who believes in decent way of doing politics. Ayariga believes in empowering people, and he believes that power must be given to the youth. And that in order for us to transform our country, we must train our youth to be economically powerful and politically powerful. So a little you can know about that. Yeah. We don't take much of your time on it.
Yeah, thank you. I think he know you better because.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah. Okay, Doc, is it okay now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me too.
No, I hear you. I hear you perfectly, but I don't know why you don't hear
Okay,
me.
good.
Yeah. So, APC. Before we go to the main topic, why did you decide to bring the youth together and form that party that you think that should be the third force, in place of MPP and NDC? Why did you decide to form the
You
APC?
know, you know, our, the political waves in the country is what we call winner takes it all kind of political system. It is being practiced by the NDC and the MPP. What it means is that when they win power, they only employ members of their party and leaving out many Ghanaians who are not politically inclined or who are from different political parties. And many of you are deserted because they are not part of politics. We believe that in order to transform Ghana, we will need to have an all-inclusive governance concept with an attitudinal change, believing that we must have strong institutions rather than political leaders. In order to do that, you have to create a platform that will give everybody equal platform in order to serve Mother Ghana without being inclined with the winner takes it all kind of political sentiment, or believing that if you are a member of NDC and APC is in power, you're going to lose your job. No, what we need is that Ghanaians who can do it, no matter the political affiliations, whether they voted for Hassan Ayerga or they never did. This is what we're looking for. So we created a platform, and that platform is the APC platform that gives every Ghanaian equal opportunity, equal power to serve our country, irrespective of whether you voted for Hassan Erega or you did not. But the platform is there for you to build Madagascar. So the APC is an all-inclusive governance concept that believes in power sharing, that believes that power must be given to the youth.
Great.
You know, the system we have in Ghana, PC is in power, and only NDC members are being employed. MPP is in power, and even if they don't have the men, like currently what we are having, a medical doctor is pushed to agree. A medical doctor is pushed to ministry of education. A medical doctor is pushed to galamsey. You see, all these things, you cannot manage a country in that manner. So that is the difference between AC and the other political parties.
So, Doc,
The ideology.
yeah, Doc,
We
does it,
believe that we are liberal. Hello.
yeah, Doc, does it mean that when you win power, you put the technical people with managerial experience to the various ministries instead of taking lawyers to everywhere, accountants to everywhere, and all that? Are you going to, put, let's say, then instead of putting an accountant like Dr. Free, then you put a medical doctor who has managerial expertise like Professor Fimpo Boateng? You put it to health instead of the galamsey. Is that what you are going to do?
Yes, that's not what I'm going to do. Like I said, what we believe in is in leadership. We believe in leadership, that people must be given job based on their qualifications. People must be given job based on their capacity to build or to be able to work. We don't need an APC member card for you to be given a job. What you need is a certificate that qualifies you to do that job. What you need is a document that shows that you can do the job, not because you hold an APC membership card. And that is what we're trying to do away in Ghanaian politics. And that is exactly what the APC stands for. Liberal principle where we believe that, look, businessmen make their money if they do right and they follow the rules and regulations. Those who cannot make money, government will take care of them, will give them unemployment benefit, support them with loan facilities, and help them to be able to build their own enterprises and businesses. So a situation where you see APC is going to allow a minister giving a job given to a minister because he voted for APC will not happen under our government. If you solo, you are qualified. I went down from the US, come and handle the galamsey and handle the mining industry. I don't care whether you voted for Atanaga or you were in the US playing golf. Once you can do the job, once you have the qualifications, once you prove that you are going to be committed to build the Ghana, you are qualified for the job.
Great. I think that is something that Ghanaians abroad would love to have it, because we have a lot of experience and technical guys, knowledgeable people here, that they don't give them the opportunity to help transform the nation. Thank you, Dr. Asana Ayariga, for the introduction. Now, let's go to the two main topics on the table that you have more time to express your opinion on what you think the EC needs to do. There has been some sort of confusion as to whether the EC should compile a new register or not. And I've heard you severally on
various platforms. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So why do you think the EC shouldn't compile a new register, in your view?
I'm going to take it through two ways: the technical way and the legal way. The compilation of the new voter register is not technically and legally possible, considering the time of election. Now, let me take you to the Article 45A of our Constitution. Says easy to compile a voter register, revise it as and when it is necessary, determined by law. What it means is that the Constitution gives the EC the power to compile a new voter register. Article 45, which means that EC has the power to compile a new voter register. Today, we have a compiled register already, a biometric register we do have. It gives the EC the right to revise it, because the Constitution says compile voter register, revise it as and when it is necessary, determined by law. So that means that if you have a compiled register, you don't need to compile another one. All you need to do is to revise it. Now, if you look at the kind of register we have a biometric register. What it means is that Ghanaians' fingerprint have been captured. That is what it's talking about, biometric. When you say biometric, what it means is about the your fingerprint. Capturing somebody's fingerprint is one of the best identifications or one of the best features of identifying somebody. So if you have a system that has captured every fingerprint of every voter, automatically you cannot have a duplicate of of two people having the same fingerprints. It's not possible. So we told the EC, yes, you have the legally, the constitution gives you the power to compile a voter register, but also you already compile voter register. So the constitution gives you the second power, which means that revise as and when it is determined by law, by consensus building. That when you all agree and you think that there are problems with the EC, the voter register, all you need to do is to revise it. Now, if we think that the voter register has issues, what do? We revise it. But the EC is adamant with that section of the Constitution. They do not want to hear anything about the revising the voter register. So they came with their own arguments, and we decided to debate on those arguments. And some of those arguments were that they believe that the system will crash. And they think that we need to transfer that before this. We need to have a new voter register before the system will crash. So we told them, look, you don't need a new system and a new voter register because you think your system will crash. If you think that your system will crash, all you need to do is to transfer the data into a new system and you can use. You don't need a new data all to start from the point of people taking their biometric details, having to take their information from scratch and build a new voter register. And they said that they were introducing something called facial recognition. And for that matter, they wanted a new system where they can have facial recognition. And I told them, look, yes, it is good to have facial recognition. But you have forgotten that the voter ID card, the current voter ID card we have, has a facial recognition. Because there's photo ID on the voter card. So if you are talking about a biometric facial recognition, why do you think that you need a biometric facial recognition? And they said that the last election of the unit committee was an error of 0.6%. And they want to eliminate that error of 0.6%. That is why they are introducing facial recognition. And I told them, if you want to introduce facial recognition because of an error of 0.6, the facial recognition is going to give you a 20% error. That. And then they don't have the management system control. The vendor is the one who controls the system. So they want to have the management control system. I told them, madam, do you know why you want the voter management control system? So you can have garbage in, garbage out. If we allow you to have the voter management control system, what it means is that the vendor is going to give you the code source. And once the vendor gives you the code source, you can make anybody president without necessarily going to voting. You can manipulate the system. You can make anybody president and nobody will know. Because you have the voter management system. Garbage in, garbage out. So we don't have the control. We will not allow the EC to have the voter management control system. So that is the problem we've been battling to and fro. There's so many of them I can talk about, but let me just go to the current situation that we have now. The EC has sent a CI 91 to Parliament to allow them to use the Ghana passport and then the NIA card as their basis of registering Ghanaians. That is to use for the new registration process. With the argument of COVID-19, they still believe they have to use these two documents to register Ghanaians. Now, let me tell you something. We have 5 or 6 months to elections. Even for the case of revision of the register, it will be very tight because 5 months to elections, we cannot do a new register with 5 months to election. It's impossible with 80 million Ghanaians. Most Ghanaians will be disenfranchised against Article 42, an entrenched provision in the 1992 Constitution. Should the Ghana card, NIA, and the passport be used as stated in the amendment of CI 91 sent to Parliament? It will result in the serious conflict we saw in Kenya. In Kenya, there are 22 million Kenyans, but their Kenyan card captured only 13 million. A few privileged people had the opportunity to get the card. And that's what caused the conflict in Kenya, because many of them were disenfranchised. Now, let's do the basis and then argument of Ghana card, and then the voters ID, and then the passport. Look, Solo, you have been to Ghana. You know our system in Ghana here. As we speak, we have 16 regions in Ghana. And only one region, which is Greater Accra, can issue passports. Two other regions can take and capture your details, which is Northern region and Kumasi, Greater Ashanti. The president Greater Ashanti now, Kumasi. So these two will only capture your details, your biometric details, and send it to Accra to issue passports. The rest of the 13th region, they don't issue, non-capture information about passports. If you say, as claimed by the EC, that they want 18 million Kenyans to have passports, who are they going to go in queue and get these passports? When only 3 centers that can take biometric details of people who want to have passports. Many of the regions do not have passport centers. They don't have passport centers. So where do you expect them? My village in Boku. How do you expect the people in Boku to come to passports? What is the cost of a passport? In getting one? It's 100 Ghana cedis. You have come to Ghana. You have seen the situation, the economic challenges. How many people in certain regions and communities can boast of 100 Ghana? How many? How many people do you think that can boast of 100 Ghana cities in their homes? I tell you, less than 50 or 40% of Ghanaians cannot boast of 100 Ghana cities in their bank account. Not to talk of using it to go and get a passport to register. Even it is not only 100 Ghana, they have to travel to Accra or Kumasi or Tamale to get the passport. So see, that aside, let's put that aside. That's another problem now. Now let's go to the NIA card. You and I know that the NIA started this process 3 years ago. They spent $1.3 billion for the purpose of getting NECAD for the Ghanaian people. So far, they have covered 11 million Ghanaians. And only 5 million Ghanaians, or 6, today have their Ghanaian card. Out of the 11 million people they've captured, and the 5 million who do not have their card, I am among the 5 million people in that category who do not have cards. Me, Hassan Erga, presidential candidate. I have registered, my wife, my family, we have registered until 6 months ago. We don't have a card. Now, if we have 18 million voters and we have captured 7 million, out of even the 11 million we've captured, only 5 or 6 million have them. And then you want to start registration end of this June. What does it mean to you? Clearly, the EC is out to disenfranchise millions of Ghanaian voters and the less privileged of society. Are you with me? So why do you think that we should allow such a barbaric attitude and act to happen in our country because of lack of leadership? Now I tell you, if the EC is giving the go ahead to register using the Ghana card and passport, I'm telling you that your brothers and your mothers and uncles and aunties in the communities and the villages will not be citizens anymore. They'll be spectators.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They'll be spectators. Why will you now reject your own card, which is the voter's ID card? Even given that all things being equal, we want you to register the Ghanaian people. Why are you rejecting your own identification? Do you think that the people who has the voting card can go in? Now, let me tell you something. In the last IPAC meeting, I asked the EC some few questions. One of it was that whether the register was credible or not. He could not answer that, so that was the reason why the meeting was disrupted and we had to close the meeting. But there were other few questions I asked. I asked the EC, you said you're going to use 43 days to do the registration. And I wrote an article, I'm sure I said an article, and I said that it was not going to be feasible and possible for us to use 43 to do the registration exercise of 80 million Ghanaians. Because we are looking at fingerprint, facial recognition, which you need to take date of the person, capture, crop it, save it, and then add it. And looking at the internet system and the network system in Ghana, it was not going to be possible for us to use not less than 20 minutes to register one person. And if we are looking at that, then we'll be disenfranchising a lot of, at least 10 million Ghanaians. 10 million Ghanaians will be disenfranchised with that system. So the EC said that, oh yeah, we understand. What we intend to do is that we are going to transfer the data of the current voter register into a template, and then only do the facial recognition and update it, so that they will be safe. So that people who are registered and captured in the current voter register will not have to go through the process of fingerprint, street, father's name, and all that. All they needed to do was to just take their facial, take a snapshot of them and upload their pictures in it. So very easy. If this was a basis for beating the 43 days to be able to register Ghanaians, what happened today? That you are now rejecting it. How do you intend to transfer their information into template and to create a new voter register when you are rejecting that data? You see, it has double standard in this matter. Now, let me tell you something. Assuming we want to agree for the EE compile a new voter register at their own requirement. Let me tell you, the IT expert of the EC said that the final register will be ready on the 8th of November if they had started the 8th of April 2 months ago. You know, they wanted to start the registration in April. Yes, April, 18th of April. That was the date they gave until COVID-19 came. They had planned to start the registration on 8th of April. If they had started, the final register would be ready 8th November. That is 30 days before election. That is how they've done the calculations and what. Today, we're too behind. If they start the registration June ending, when will the final register then will be ready? February 30th. Who is going to vote on February? Mensa or Nana Akufo-Addo? Let me take you through another legal document. Let's link CI 91 registration law to CI 94 election law. It says nomination for both presidential and parliamentary elections should not be less than 30 days and not more than 90 days. Section 4 of the CI 94. And we need a certified register and a final register before then. Hello?
I'm listening, Doc.
Good. Do they intend to do that? Because they won't be able to do it. So in 2000, our population census, 53% of Ghanaians were 18 years and above. In 2010, population census Ghanaians, 55% were 18 and above. Today, in 2020, we are looking at 60% of Ghanaians who are 18 and above. Do you think from now, with 90 regulations, the EC will be able to register every Ghanaian from now till end of July, according to their own statistics and information? It's not possible. Technically, it's not possible. Legally, it's not possible. Because so far, even as we sit now, Parliament has not passed the bill for the EC to use whether the Ghana passport or the NIA card. But you saw what happened 3 days ago when they were doing the balloting. What happened? In Volta,
some names were in already.
Some three Ghanaians who went to register got there, and when they went to register, they told them that they cannot register. When they asked why, they told them that your names were already captured and you register. So their names were already captured. How can you buy a new phone? Okay? A new iPhone. And then you want to register, you want to save the number of your wife, your child, and your mother. And the information on the phone says that your father's number and your mother's number is already registered, your wife's number is already stored, and your child's number is already stored. How is that possible?
This is
You see, we want perfection. Perfection. But a perfect voter register and not a new register. That will disenfranchise very people who needs it. Look, do you know that the sea is quiet on the repeal of Act 699, which is a rule that has been given by the High Court to also allow prisoners to register? The Supreme Court ruled that EC should register all prisoners in Ghana. The EC do that before election? Good. Now let's talk about the other issues in Law C-194, which transfer of votes, proxy voter list, special voter list. All these voter lists should be done 42 days to election. Is the EC ready to do that? And for transfer to contest election or support a candidate for nomination, not later than 42 days. That the last day of nomination, section 222(3)(a) of C-194 talks about it. In all these lists, we need a certified or a final register. When will the EC be ready to give us a final register? So you see, my brother, I think that the EC has an agenda that is not known to us. I believe they have identified a solution and now looking for a problem. You understand? They have identified a solution and they are now looking for a problem and they cannot find that problem. We will give them that problem too. Are you with me?
Yep, sure.
This same register produced John Mahama. produced Nana Akufo-Addo was used to do unit committee elections. The same register for to create regions, the new regions. Why will you think such a register is not fit for 2020 election? They don't have an answer. Look, I looked at the forms which they were using for the balloting. Something many people did not observe was that the E has already printed the document to be used to identify a Ghanaian without even including the voter ID card, and even without waiting for the approval of CI 91 by Parliament. Look at the document very well. You will see that there were two documents for the regulation on the paper, on the balloting paper. It was Ghana card, you key in your Ghana card number, or you key in your Ghana passport number. You are asking the Parliament to give you the approval. Parliament hasn't approved it yet. Already you are going to print the documents, excluding the voters' ID card. So in case the Parliament give you approval, go ahead. If they refuse to give you the approval, so that means that you have to pack all these documents and print a new one. When will you do that? Now, let me ask you a very simple question. Solo, we are in COVID-19. And the protocol observation is that one must be tested either negative or positive to be able to attend to people. If you are positive, you go home. You will not work even in the bank. So all the institutions are doing testing. The EC should come out and tell us whether they have done testing on their members. Because I cannot go and stand in EC who is positive. Are you with me?
Yep, sure.
Yes. Will you go and stand in front of an EC member who is positive?
No, even
You will not do that. So even the EC to test all EC workers to know whether they are COVID-19 positive or negative, and that will take a long time. I think that the plan.
yeah, even if that, if they decide to compile the new register stock, one thing they should know is even the chairs that they'll provide, are they going to clean it after everyone sits on the chair? The pens that they'll use, are they going to clean the pens after everyone is using? If I go to use it, are they going to clean everywhere? And the person who is going to clean, is the person safe to do that? I think these are also some of the questions that the EC should be able to answer. Because they can't put people's lives at risk because of somebody's selfish interest. It's not going to work. Doc, you can continue.
Because they want somebody to be president to continue to be president. Now, you see, we need to know that EC is treading on the dangerous ground. EC is trying to put this country into a situation that will be very, very chaotic. I tell you, millions will be disenfranchised in this new voter register. It comes on. So far, I know more than 11 million people will be disenfranchised. Because in the village and the northern partner, if we really want to be sincere to ourselves, many of them have not been captured with the NIA card. And many of them do not have passports. Even birth is a problem. Because sometimes we don't even really care about that those days when we were growing up. You understand? So how many of us are going to put a passport or an NIA card before we register? So you will go to the ground and you will not be registered. What do you think is going to happen? If you did voting, I come with my old voter ID card and I say I'm a voter, then the EC people say I don't vote. What do you think will happen that day? But you see, our president is ignorant, or either he knows and he's adamant The president at this time should have called for a serious meeting between the EC and the political parties and stakeholders of this country. The way he was doing when COVID was happening, he was calling members of every group to seek advice. Why is he not doing in terms of EC? Is he quiet? Why is he adamant? What is it that he's gaining that is systematic? Why is he silent about that? Or is he not more a president? Is he no more a president? Or he's not worried about what will happen in this country? Let me tell you something. The issue of he is a national issue and a national security issue as well. So the president should know, even though the EC is adamant and the EC is an autonomous body, but the EC still exists within the laws of our country. And they cannot be above the law of our country. And the president is the first gentleman of the country. He should show leadership and call all political parties and the EC to sit down and deliberate on this matter seriously to find a lasting solution to this problem.
I see. So, Doc, from what you are saying, if the EC decides to accept the old voters register as one of the IDs, required IDs to be issued before they take your information and give you a new voters register. If they decide to accept the old voters register as part of that identification, are you going to still say we shouldn't compile the register, or this time your mind will change?
No. Solo, please listen to my argument. When I said the argument, I said technically it is not possible. Legally, it is not possible. I gave the terms. I am saying that one, first of all, the voter register we have is credible. It has produced 2-3 precedents. Looking at the timing, it's not possible. Looking at the constitution, it says revise it. We have not done the revision. Why do you discard it? And I told you that biometric features is one of the best features in identifying somebody, and we have it in the new current voter register. Why do we want to throw it away? Even if we want even to do limited registration exercise, looking at the number of months left, we will not be able to do it. So all I mean is that technically we are out of time. It's not possible. Even if all political parties should come out and say, EC, go ahead and do it, the EC cannot do it. They cannot. Timing is wrong. Situation is bad. Consultation is not good. Documentations are not ready. Machines are not perfect. Don't forget, this same new register they intend to do, if they do it, they have to do a power testing of the machines. They have to vote a day before. They have to use it to test it, and it must be a voting period. Are they going to use it to test 2020 elections? If they use it for 2020 election as a test case and it backfires, what are we going to do?
Sure. That's another question. Yep.
Eh?
Sure.
My brother, Ghana is for all of us, including you. Don't think because you are sitting in the US, you are not part of Ghanaians. You are also one of us.
Doc, that's why
We all must fight this case. Look, this issue, I want us to not to politicize this issue. There are many people who are in the NPP who are also against the compilation of the voter register. There is more people that who do not understand why the EC is unreasonable. Are you with me?
yeah, Doc.
Don't think that it is every member of the NPP who wants a new voter register at this moment. You cannot jeopardize the lives of people and the future. Look, if you ask me whether we need a voter register, a new voter register, my answer will be no forever. You understand me? You should ask me what do we need, and I will tell you. We don't need a voter register again. We've been spending money every 8 years to compile a new voter register. And we tired of borrowing money every time to compile a new voter register. We need a pet NIA card, unique, a national identification card that is very, very unique, that we can use to identify Ghanaians, we can use to do transactions, and the same card can be used to vote. Once you attain the age of 18, then show your date of birth will show. So we don't need to be spending money. Why can't we be reasonable ones? Why do we think that every time we must go and borrow money to build a new voter register or to compile a new voter register? In the US, why do they have a voter register? No identification to go and vote. So copy beautifully. Why? If you don't even know how to be creative and innovative, then let's copy beautifully. It is good to copy, but copy properly. Okay? So we are not talking about just the inclusion of the voter card. It is not our argument. We have several arguments that we have put in place. We've said it on and on. Timing is wrong. If the AC wanted a voter register, for God's sake, where were they in 2018? Because he was still the commissioner in 2018. Are you with me? Why didn't they start the process in 2018 and then compile it in 2019? Why do they want to compile it in the election year with 5 months to election? How sure are they that we'll have a perfect register? Now, what it means is that we are now going to have a register that is not perfect, a register that is going to disenfranchise people, and a register that is going to cause trouble. So, what is the purpose of going for a register that will disenfranchise the many people who are supposed to be original voters? And if you look at the NIA card, I looked at it yesterday, and I was shocked. The form of the NIA card. What it means that even the NIA can be given to a foreigner. The requirement is that, are you a Ghanaian? If you are a Ghanaian, tick here. Foreigner, tick here. Whatever, tick, tick. So if foreigners can get the NIA card, what is the basis of that? Are you with me? Look for the form. If you don't have it, I'll WhatsApp it to you. And you will see, even they are asking for foreigners' identity to be given an NIA card. You saw some Chinese people holding the card in Ghana here.
Yeah, but that one, I read on it, and it was like permanent residency or something. It's not a citizen.
An NIA card. It's not resident.
I see. But
So you see,
what even baffles me,
yes,
we use birth certificates to acquire our passports. We use
passport.
birth
Yeah.
certificate for the NIA card. And we also use the passports for NIA card.
Also, Professor Watt, who was given the 1.3 billion to produce the card. I came out and did a press conference, and I said that look, this is an agent to steal our money. We are less than 1.3 billion. The population of Ghanaians is 25 million. How do we spend 1.3 billion for a number of less than 30 million Ghanaians? Divide the 1.3 billion dollars, okay, by 30 million Ghanaians, and you will see that we are spending at least 30, I think $60 or $70 in producing that card. Why? Hmm? So why?
That is Ghana price. But Doc, I heard that in India, some guys came to Ghana to help us compile the new NIA card or ECOWAS card or something. And according to Kennedy Japan, they were trying to get the government to pay them 50 million United States dollars, so that instead of the 1.3 billion, I was like, what? 1.3 billion against 50 million. So the rest of the money, what are they using it for? So, Doc, let me ask you this question. How can we justify this? And how can we also ensure that people don't use their positions to dupe the nation in case you become a president? If you can just give me 2 minutes for that.
The laws of Ghana should work. Look, if we begin to punish people for being corrupt, institutions. Look, you remember I told you about the Special Prosecutor Office, and that it was my idea and copied it. That was meant to first of all discipline and arrest people and jail them and sentence them for being corrupt. You see, when MPP was copied, like I said, if you pay, you have to copy a better way. You have to copy nicely. They did not copy it well, because the APC manifesto said that an independent special prosecutor. But when MPP was copying manifesto, special prosecutor. So they left the independent there, took it off, and they didn't understand the reason for the independent there. The independent was to make them autonomous. But they have their own powers. They don't have to be under any institution. Today, the one they have created and implemented is under the office of the Attorney General. If you have a special prosecutor working under the office of the Attorney General, why do you need a special prosecutor then? For what? Who are they going to prosecute? Because Attorney General can equally do the same thing they are doing, because they work at their office. So if the Attorney General refuses to give them any document, that means they cannot do any job. If the Attorney General doesn't want them to prosecute anybody, they cannot do it. That is why you see that Martin has become useless. Because that's not the reason for the special prosecutor. When I was drafting the manifesto, I said independent. Martin Hamidu would be an independent special prosecutor. Even president, he can impeach him if he goes wrong. He can arrest people from the Flagstaff. But today, you tie my hand and you say, slap me, beat me. So you see, in order for us to build this country, we have to put institutions in place, and we have to punish wrongdoers without favor or fear. People must be punished when they go wrong. People must be sent to jail when they evade taxes. People must be sent to jail when they take government money. People must be sent to jail when they are in corrupt business, corrupt practices. You don't spare them. Don't allow the law to spare them. You see, now even our judges and whatever they call them, I don't even trust them anymore. So how are you going to jail and sentence people when they themselves are corrupt? Some were taking gold. Can you imagine? So our system is an overhauling system. That is why we need a new leadership in this country. We don't need the NDC and the MPP anymore. We're tired of the recycling. Ghanaians say they want to change, but at the end of the day, they recycle. They go back to NDC, recycle with MPP, recycle with NDC, and then they say they want to change. How do you change when you are recycling? You don't need to recycle. Go for new things. Go for new leadership. Allow other political parties to show and exhibit their vision, strategy, policy for a new Ghana. You cannot get what you want if you can't in. You cannot get new results. You're going to get the same results. If you use Formula A every time Formula A, you're going to get the result from every time with Formula A. You don't get the result from Formula B. And we want people to respect that. We want the whole world to say Ghana is doing well. Which part of the country are we doing well? Which sector? Tell me, is it the mining sector? No. Banking sector? Disastrous. Center West. Tell me anyone. One sector we are doing well as Ghanaians. One sector. Maybe the only sector is marriage. Even in marriage, we have failed. We are divorcing everything.
Doc, maybe the free
You see,
is helping. The free SHS is helping.
what free seniors do? The Ghanaians are producing. School students who go to school, whether you write exam, you are being promoted. If you don't write, you are promoted. If you are in the class, you are promoted. If you were never in the class, you are being promoted to the next class. If you fail, you are promoted. What kind of students are we producing? That's the kind of student we are producing. The senior high schools too is a program to produce. I call it unmatured graduates, or to produce dangerous students, because they pass everybody.
Yeah, the free SHS.
There's no test case for them.
So, Doc,
My brother,
let me ask you one more question and maybe we move on to the bauxite.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Hello?
can you hear me now? Yeah,
Hello?
Doc. Yeah, hello, Doc.
Yes.
Yeah, hello.
Please speak to the microphone. I can hear you, please.
No, I'm speaking to the microphone and I can hear myself. I want to find out whether you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I think there is some internet problem. I don't know whether it's at your end because here everything looks fine, but I don't know what is happening at your end. But anyway, let's move on.
Yes, it's not allowing me to flow the way I want to flow. It's making me, I hear myself double. It's echoing.
It's echoing. Oh, okay.
Yes, very bad. So I'm not able, I have to shout in order for you to hear me.
I see. Because everything looks fine here. I don't know whether it's the internet, the MTN internet in Ghana, or because, well, let's see. Once you can hear me now, I think let me ask one more question and then we move on to the bauxite and then we can let you rest for the night. So now, the matter about the new register is in the hands of the Supreme Court now. In case the Supreme Court rules in favor of the EC, that the EC as an institution can compile a new register, what will be your next step?
Another court.
Another court.
Yes, another court case. We'll go to another court.
So there will be court cases.
Don't laugh. I'm serious.
Well, but the Supreme Court
Look,
is ultimate, right? So
that's what I say. We will go back to court again. We appeal.
I see.
Because the one they sent to the EC is that, to court, is that they should include the voter ID card.
Okay.
So if the Supreme Court says that the EC should go and compile a voter register with a new voter card, we now go to court to stop them from compiling the voter register under COVID-19.
But
And there were technical reasons and legal reasons.
yeah, Doc, you know something? I think last year
Yes.
Parliament passed a rule that they should remove the old voters' ID from the requirements. I heard something like that.
No, Parliament cannot pass it. If Parliament has passed it, they will not go back to Parliament asking Parliament to allow them to use the two excluding it. If the parliamentarians make a mistake, pass that bill, the members will beat them in the Parliament House. Stop laughing. I'm telling you, the members will go there and beat them up. You know why? Because they will be disenfranchising the very people who gave them power to go to parliament. Because your villagers and your community people voted you to go to parliament. And now the only identification for many Ghanaians in this country is two identifications. And I'll tell you the two identifications. If you see a Ghanaian anywhere in the corner of this country, there are two identifications. The person will probably have one or two. Either the voter's ID card or the National Health Insurance card.
Yeah, sure.
NIN.
Yep.
The National Health Insurance card. These two cards are the only identification for many Ghanaians in this country. Any part of Ghana, go to any lungu, any corner, any ghetto, any slum, and then you ask somebody to identify himself or herself. The only identification the person will produce is either just ID card or the National Health Insurance card. That is the only two identifications. They don't have passports, they don't have birth certificate, they don't have NIA. So if the Mentarians are saying that they should exclude the two and not allow them to use it, the parliamentarians will come home. Because they did the vote, nobody is there to vote them. You see, it's a very serious and delicate problem. And we need to understand that, look, this country belongs to all of us. Rule the country well, tomorrow our great grandchildren will applaud and say, my great father was a great man. The legacy we leave behind is what they are going to use to transform this country further. If we rule this country in a very silly way, okay, and produce laws that will only favor who are in power, and that when we are out of power is against us. The very people in power will always use you against when you are out of power. You understand? That is why I'm talking about strong institutions. We should have strong institutions that will take care of the system and not a system that will take care of the institution. The institution should be able to run this country, even so that Nana Akufo-Addo, who is incompetent, should be able to manage. But it's because he's incompetent and the institutions are not good, it is showing clearly. But when we have strong institutions, even a child can manage Ghana. When we put right institutions in place and strong institutions in place, these institutions are working automatically. You don't even need somebody to be president 80, 2 terms. You can be president 1 term, bring in your policies, and then integrate it, and you move on. The systems are working autopilot. Even without the president, systems are working. But look at us. We do not have systems. We do not have institutions. Our laws are not working. We only hear we have laws. These laws don't work. You go to court. If you are rich, you are out of the court. If you are poor, you go to jail. So you choose one. No justice. If you are poor, you go to jail. If you are rich, you go home. So do you want to go home or you want to go to jail? Depends on your pocket. So no justice. Laws don't work. Even traffic lights don't work in Ghana. Traffic lights don't work. I had this with you. You see, come again.
Yeah, somebody told me that the only law that works in Ghana is men don't go to women's bathroom and women don't go to men's bathroom. That's the only law that works in Ghana.
Are you sure? Have you forgotten about gays and lesbianism? Lesbians and gays.
No.
They go.
Oh, but the gays.
Don't say that. The only all the laws, no laws work in Ghana. I'm being honest. So tell me one part that you think you have been there and the lost work, and I'll tell you the flaws on it. So until we find an institution or a country that we believe in the rule of law and will do away with corruption, eradicate corruption, fight corruption together, we will continue to be a corrupt nation. Look at our country. I am not against whites. I'm not against Chinese. I'm not against foreigners. But Ghanaian institution, what do you call it? Resources. It's under them. Take it over. Sector by sector is managed by foreigner by foreigner. Mining sector has to be taken over by Chinese. Other sector taken over by Canadian American. Which other sector is good? Cocoa sector taken by foreigners. Even chocolate is very expensive in Ghana than abroad. When we produce chocolate, can you imagine?
Yep.
That we leave Ghana, go to abroad, buy chocolate, and come back home. Some country things like that behave in this manner. How can we have leaders who don't think? And you want me to believe that we have leadership 62 years down the lane. We are still importing everything. Even water, we still import. Some people don't drink Baltic. They bring their water from abroad. And they call themselves first-class citizens. Can you imagine? Today, Dr. Baumia was always chanting and insulting President Mahama this thing, that the dollar was 3 cedis, 60 pesos. For God's sake, today the dollar is 6 cedis, 20 pesos. Why is Dr. Baumia? He finds excuses for the reason why dollar is 6 cedis, 20 pesos. What kind of do we have here? So some of us have become poorer, and our counterparts in the US become millionaires. In 2000, if I had $20 million in my account, today I have less than $2 million. And my counterpart in the US will still have his 20 million plus. So they are making us poor and poorer. So if these people continue to run our country, we need to sack them. Get them out. We cannot continue to vote NDC and MPP and be retrogressing. Our educational system is kaput. We now produce what I call avoidable graduates. Graduates who come out with documents looking for jobs instead of creating jobs. Graduates that are supposed to be creative and innovative, today they come out with a certificate chasing one MTN shop to another. Not in a better job, MTN or Glow. And then Nanado will come and say, one district, one factory, one village, one dam, one constituency, $1 million. Where is the $1 million? Where is the one constituency? Where is the one village? Where is the one dam? Where is the? You don't even have a production base. How can you have an industrial base? Do we think we produce in Ghana? Even Charorika, or how do you call them? They produce. What do we produce? We have pineapple farms and we let them rot at the farms. We have mango trees, they get rotten and fall on the ground in the farms. Watermelon, they tend to rubbish. We don't produce anything. How are we going to feed the factory? With dog meat or cat meat? We have sugarcane factory and we cannot produce sugarcane. We have sugar commander factory, what do you call it? The commander factory, and we cannot produce sugarcane to feed it. And Nanado telling me one district, one factory. I don't know what kind of factories, corrupt factories or corrupt, what kind of factories he's producing.
But Doc, I heard most of the factories are owned by the Chinese nationals, not for Ghana as we all believe it to be.
Which factory are you talking about? I don't know of the factory. Tell me.
Well, I think some of the factories are almost ready. You know, they are about to go.
What pure water factories are the ones I know. Those are owned by Chinese, pure water factories. They're there. So what other factory you want to tell me that I don't know?
Okay, Doc, I think you've answered a lot of questions and you've enlightened us, you've educated us on so many things that we didn't know. Now let's move on to the bauxite.
Look, let me move on. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
We have banks in this country. Government have collapsed the indigenous bank, and promoting foreign banks. We have a bank in this country. Government give loans to foreigners to build businesses, and the indigenous cannot borrow money. A Chinese or an American into the bank and is asking for a $5 million loan, and he's giving the loan within 5 to 24 hours. A Ghanaian work and put all his property, and they ask him to, they can't give him loan. How do you intend for your country and your people to grow when you are denying them the very right that they are entitled to?
That's serious.
Tell me, why won't Chinese take over our country? Chinese are even shooting our people, killing them, and we say nothing. They give police money and they keep quiet. The best, how come you were asking about Swala? That Swala is being killed here, and then the police were shooting their own people at the Galamsey side, and nobody has the power to say because the president is useless and has given a useless command. Kill.
Shoot and kill.
How can you ask your people to? How can you send police to go and kill your people? How important are you?
No, you know what?
Then somebody is there where and then you come to solidarity to put message of solidarity.
Doc,
Eh?
the first deputy speaker of parliament, Honorable Joe Oseusu, he said shoot and kill the miners. Shoot and kill, and nobody condemned it.
Can you imagine?
The president, the minister,
Nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything. On the national TV, UTV, on the national TV, shoot and kill them. Do we have any law in Ghana?
And this if this was under my special prosecutor's office, the one I intended to do, he would have been picked up immediately. Yes, you cannot just because you're a minister. What? Who are you? You don't talk. You can't just talk anyhow. Because you are a minister, they shoot and kill people. Oh, come on. This cannot happen anywhere. Even armed robbers, they don't shoot and kill them in the US.
No way. No, you can't just, you see, these police officers staff.
You must justify the killing.
Yes, you should justify it.
And the shooting. If you can't justify, you cannot shoot. And even before you are given an shoot, a lot of people must be confronted. And a lot of factors considered before a green light is given. And even with that, they have to scrutinize it. But here, human beings working like dogs. And they can give orders like dogs.
Anyway, Doc, I think we'll move on to the bauxite. You know, I have documents to justify that Mr. Ibrahim Muhammad's Eston Kubik passed through. Just a second. Sorry, Doc. I have documents that show that the Eston Kubik as a company passed through the processes from day one, from feasibility studies to prospecting to exploration to mine planning to mining lease. They used 4 years, about 4 years, from 2013 to 2017, to acquire the mining license, the mining lease, which our mining laws and regulations, that is the Act 703, the regulation 2006. It states that when you acquire your mining lease, you can mine. And the same law says that you should get ratification from Parliament. The period between, acquiring the mining lease and then getting the ratification. They didn't specify that within this number of months or years you should get it. Ibrahim Mahama got his mining lease and he was ready to go and mine. All of a sudden, they said no parliamentary ratification, which is not his responsibility to send the mining lease to parliament for ratification. That's why we had a lot of mining companies working with their mining lease without ratification. Just last week, they just sent some mining companies leases to parliament for ratification. Just last week. Meanwhile, they've been mining since 2006, 2004, and all that. The point is, are you happy the way the government took the bauxite and then gave it to the Chinese for exploitation? Do you agree with government?
Why do you think government went to China begging for 3 billion loan? I believe government did a very wrong thing in denying the very people who worked hard to build Ghana and who are also Ghanaians against foreigners. Why will a country like Ghana support foreign companies against indigenous companies? We have laws, we have regulations in this country. We have process of acquiring certifications in this country, what a license, a mining license certificate, construction certificate, or whatever certificate. All these things have rules and regulations, the procedure of acquiring them. I'm not sure, and like you said, you have documents. I don't believe that Ibrahim Mahama will go get a mining license and the concession was given to him without proper documentation. I don't believe it. What I believe is which happened, even all things being equal, assuming that Ibrahim documents were not intact and that our contract was awarded to him, what would have been the way forward? Was it to ask him, go back and get this document? Already you have gotten the licenses to operate. So this document is missing. Go back and rectify it. Or will you say, no, let's take it from him and get a Chinese man and ask the Chinese man to go through the same procedures Ibrahim has gone through, which the Chinese never did in the first place, and is about to start when Ibrahim has gone far with it. Which one would have been preferable? Asking your citizens to update his document or asking a new company to start afresh? You see, we have sense, but we don't have the common one. Because it's not common to common people. We think that we are doing harm to certain groups of people, but we've forgotten that we are doing harm to our own self, our own country. Disgracing our people and allowing foreigners take control of our country. The NPP government and the NDC government are almost the same. They do what is called pull it down, PSD, when they are in power. But MPP knows how to do it better. Okay? I'm being honest with you. Many people in this country have been sacked when the MPP government got into power. You know what happened?
Yes.
Vandalizing of people's property, what do you call them? Toll booths, sacking people from their offices, sacking people of being MPP and taking them NDC and taking them out of their company, their job, public services, sacking of people by heart. How can you run a country when you sack the very people who are managing it? So you see, the issue of Ibrahim Mama is not the only thing we have at hand. We have several when it comes to the construction department. We have several when it comes to the mining sector. You saw it yourself. Do you think the Galamsey, it was to fight against Galamsey. It was to take over the Galamsey.
Exactly. Exactly.
Are you with me?
Yep. Exactly.
It was to take over the mining sector. It was not that they were sacking them because they didn't have mining license. It's because they believed it was NDC regime for 8 years. NDC boys were the one mining, and for that matter, they should shoot and kill them, and then replace them with the MPP gurus. So clearly, we are still doing witch hunting. We are not better than a military regime. I think a military regime would have been better for us than a political regime, a democratic system. Because with that, there's discipline. With this one, there's no discipline. People just behave like anything. I don't want to use certain words now because I'm careful. I'm a presidential candidate.
Yeah, and then the CID may invite you.
No CID can invite me. Or you don't know that?
Well, I don't know whether they can't invite presidential candidates. But
they can't invite because I don't say things that they can invite me for.
But somebody.
You understand? I have common sense.
Yeah, somebody predicted President Akufo-Addo's speech, and he was invited.
But President Akufo-Addo said, "All die be die." Who invited him? You see the hypocrisy of our.
Yeah, that is Ghana. So
Yes, when President Akufo-Addo came and said, "All die be die," the current minister for information or communication,
yeah, communication,
printed T-shirts of "All die be die," sat on Metro with it and was debating with Randy. And I was even shocked Randy tolerated her. Randy should have asked her to walk out. Because if the moment you print "All die be die," and you come to advert it on my Metro platform, I will ask you, go and change the shirt. I will not tolerate this. Because you are not coming to kill goats and donkeys. And he was not invited. The president was not invited. He was then an opposition leader. When they said kill gas and airways, nobody was invited.
Well,
when they said Ghana would turn to Afghanistan, nobody was invited.
Yeah, Bakane Japan was invited and put to remand for some time. After.
I don't know of what he said.
Yeah,
but that one cannot be more than "All die be die." And the "All die be die" mantra is still working. You saw the violence in Ayawaso.
Yeah, Ayawaso. And he later promoted
ASP
Azubu, the one who handled, handled Sam George and all that.
The Ayawaso, yes. So you see, Solo, I think it's time you and your media men should tell Ghanaians the truth about NDC and MPP, the propaganda of NDC and MPP, the corruption of NDC and MPP, the mismanagement of NDC and MPP, the pulling down of NDC and MPP, the destruction that we are seeing our country, that has made some of you to run out of this country and still cannot come back home and invest. That many of you have gone there, you have trained, you have become excellent professional men and women, and yet are not serve the country because some people have practicing takes it all of kind of political syndrome that you even offer yourself and you're not given a job and they want to pay bribe. I have seen it all. We cannot build Ghana in this manner. We cannot accept Ghana in the 21st century with this kind of behavior. We will tolerate this kind of leadership. We want a leadership of an all-inclusive governance concept. A leader who believes in Ghana and the way forward for Ghana. A leader who thinks for Ghana, drink for Ghana, eat for Ghana, and speak for Ghana, and defend Ghana. A leader who thinks it is very easy for us to unite and come together to build a nation and separate ourselves and destroy the nation. What we do is, when you divide your front, you lose the strength. And that is what we've been doing over and over again. NDC come to power and throw away the rest of the good Ghanaians who are working with NPP. NPP comes to power and sack all members and said they were members of NDC and we start afresh. That is why projects upon projects are never completed since Nkrumah's time. And they have been up, and that is our resources. It is our money, it is our wealth that have been abandoned. When will we ever think of putting Ghana together or put ourselves together? When will we think of what we can do for Ghana that what Ghana can do for us? When will we think that we have a future to lead? That our kids are looking at us as future leaders, and that one day they will point at the fingers at us and say, our parents did not do that, and that we are corrupt, and they will jail our graves. We have something to do. We need to do something drastic, something that can change the course of Ghana and build Ghana again. We need new crop of leaders that think along, and we can build Ghana again. We need a platform that gives equal opportunity to everybody, regardless of your political party and your to any political party. The Ghana that we need is a Ghana with attitudinal change, a mindset that believes that yes, we can do it.
Sure, we can.
That is the Ghana we are looking for. We're not looking for people to come and Chinese English, British English, American English, and still suffering. We can't feed our people 3 square meters. We can get good health care. We don't have food security. Water is a problem. Health care is a disaster. Education works. Leadership is the worst of it all. And then we have presidents who come and speak slang English, American English, and yet we behave like the man from the dustbin. We don't eat English. Let's think. Let's work hard. Let's come together. Let's unite. Let's come on board. Let's be committed in building our motherland. That is what we pledged for. That's what we stand for. What are we doing? Are we going to say our predecessors, old father and grandfather, were better than us? Of course they were better than us. They were better than us. Go back to history and study, and you realize that Ghana in 1962, 70s were better than the Ghana today. And we have become PhD holders, doctors holding doctorate degree just to rob our country. Stay from our national conference. Avoid each other in the name of politics. Desert each other in the name of democracy. Fight each other in the name of justice. Kill each other in the name of propaganda. What are we doing? What have we done right so far? We read American books and want to apply the African tradition. The African tradition is that we cannot feed our people. Americans are reading books to go to the moon and go to the sun. We can't even use our farmlands. We can produce, we can't even feed our country. Look at the pandemic, how we're begging. 3 weeks down, and we couldn't feed 2 states. Greater Accra and Greater Kumasi, we couldn't feed it for 3 weeks. And we have to run for stabilization fund. We have to run for state fund. Our economy was it need. And you tell me Ghana is working for who? The economy is strong. Strong for who? We are doing well. Doing well for who? And we had to run to IMF. 400,000 people we couldn't feed. We have to lift the lockdown immediately. 3 weeks. That is very, very, very bad. Assuming this pandemic had continued for the next month, and all borders, no supply of food in and out, what do you think would have happened to the African countries? Would have killed each other to feed. Because we don't have food security. We don't have rice, we don't have maize, we don't have anything. Sorghum, we don't have. We don't import to consume. We don't export. We don't produce. Then the system of Ghana government will come and say, we are doing planting for food and agriculture. Where is the food? We're in pandemic. I didn't see any food. Did you see some? People were running looking for food to eat. People had to come out of their rooms to go out to look for food. Other countries were busy giving stimulus packages to their people. We were busy putting our life in danger. Oh God, save Ghana. I cannot save Ghana.
That is Dr. Hassan Ayariga, the founder and leader of All People's Congress. I think he has enlightened our viewers and listeners tonight across the world. And I think it's time that we let him go and have some rest so that we bring him on board another time. You are listening to Dr. Hassan Ayariga on FireOne Radio in Denver, Colorado, United States. He has spoken about the reasons why we don't need new voters register. And he has already, talked about it on several platforms, including the top media houses in Ghana, and he's still pushing hard to ensure that we don't compile a new register to allow the possibility of the EC favoring one political party over the others. He has also talked about the bauxite issues in Ghana, and according to him, it's wrong for the government to confiscate the mining lease of a Ghanaian and giving it to Chinese guys to operate. As I told you earlier, Dr. Hassan Ayariga is the founder and leader of All People's Congress in Ghana, APC, and he's one of the few politicians in Ghana who have put this government on its toes right from day one. He's always on their neck, ensuring that this government will do the right things to favor the good people of Ghana. He is contesting again this year for presidency, and he's calling on all Ghanaians to consider him when it comes to voting the man to power. Doc, thank you so much. Before you go, I think we need to enjoy your music once again, so that people will know that you are calling everyone to join APC, aka in Kabom Unity. You want unity for the people.
Yeah.
You want the
APC to the people. Fellow Ghanaians, election this year again. The party you can trust, APC is here again. If you're looking for that man with all the qualities, Dr. Hassan Ayariga is the best man. Intimoto mano, Hassan Ayariga, power to the people. Motomano, Hassan Ayariga, power to the people. Motomano, for development, quality education, good roads and railways, jobs and employment, building of more schools and hospitals, agricultural development, won't pay way now, won't pay then. In Punto, in Kosopa, ne asitna pa Ghana fue moment to my episio Timotomano Hasa Yarega power to the people Motomano Hasa Yarega power to the people Motomano vote for Hassan Yarga vote for APC vote for Hassan Yarga vote for APC meet that corner Hassan Yarga then APC meet that corner Hassan Yarga then APC fellow Ghanaians election this year again the party you can trust APC is here again if you're looking for that man with all the qualities Dr. Hassan Yarga is the best man Motomano Hassan Yarga power to the people 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 Motomano APC All People's Congress APC All Inclusive Government APC power to the people vote for Dr. Hassan Yarga.
So that was Dr. Hassan Yarga. At this point, I'll put in some music for Ghanaians to enjoy.